I was under the impression that Christmas came but once a year. So why, pray, are the nation's shopkeepers hawking us turkey for our Eastertide tables? Panettone, stollen, decorations, trees, the sort of fare, in fact, you might find in a traditional German Christmas market. I don't dare switch on the TV in case there's a gloopy John Lewis advert to try to get us to give each other Easter prezzies, or an advert for eggs without saying Easter on them, or another repeat of the pledge. This is still a Christian country. The egg is a symbol of Christ's resurrection. Holy Week is the most important Christian celebration of the year. Of course, we all love a chalky egg, but don't let Easter too become a marketing, shopping and eating opportunity, just devoid of ritual and meaning. Now, and as the Easter bunny only comes once a year, I have got some examples of Easter marketing for you. Here we have, that's got no mention of Easter on it. Okay. Who wants that one? Smarties. No, I've got something special for you. No. Okay, I'm giving it to our Smarty Pants. And this is a pink unicorn. Oof. I mean, does that say Easter to you? As it's a unicorn, I thought we should give it to Carol because she still believes in Brexit.
Oh. Brexit is going to happen, Rachel.
This is an egg that says... you want this for your kids. Please. This says Easter in tiny writing.
I like my creamy eggs.
But finally, for June, this is a proper Easter egg, which has got a book explaining the Easter story and the meaning of Easter. It says called The Real Easter Egg. It's literally the most worthy thing you've ever seen. It's in a recyclable.
All of it. Share this, Nick.
What a pity. What a pity. You can have the unicorn.
No, I'm good.
Because you want to believe in Brexit.
Now, can we put our marketing opportunities away so we can talk about the meaning of Easter?
Rachel. Where, bar humbug, you sound like Ebenezer Scrooge in that introduction. Look, you know, Easter is still about religion. It's still about Christ and the resurrection. But it's also an opportunity for companies on the side to peddle a bit of wear and make a bit of profit, especially if they've got stock left over from Christmas. What do they do with it? They're recycling trees and turkeys. Those turkeys are going to rot unless they sell them. I mean, look, it's no exaggeration. They've introduced turkeys for Easter. Have a look at this. This is, apparently, that's an Easter turkey. Doesn't look too much different from a Christmas turkey.
Yeah, she did say that.
Yes. But you see, because that would go to waste otherwise, they're trying to sell it. And so let them. You know, no one's stopping you also celebrating.
Britain and we've just got to buy up the old stock.
I am a Christian, as you know, and I'm a practising one, but this country's becoming more and more secular, so Easter doesn't mean what it used to for the majority. No, not necessarily. I think it's something, it doesn't mean what it once did for a lot of people.
Why are we doing it
I know
then?
what I'm
It has
on.
no meaning.
Well, it's the time for families to come together.
It's the Anglo-Saxon goddess Oster, the goddess of fertility. I'm on the loss of her memory. That's what I'm on.
You know, you were talking about the commercialisation of it. The trouble is that commercialisation only happens with consent. And people had to start losing faith in Christianity before the manufacturers were allowed to rush in. And the problem isn't that Easter has been commercialised. It's what's important is that religion isn't putting out a strong enough message to draw people in. And that's part, you know, in the late 16th century, Baroque churches were built to attract people to come to the church. It was a commercialisation of the religion, if you like.
Yeah. Well, I've got a solution.
And people had to come and they paid to be in the...
I have a solution to that, and it's a four-letter word, and it begins with F, and I will tell you the solution in just a moment. Oh, yes, it's... But for many reasons. So who thought Brexit was the big debate? It's exit, isn't it?
Exit.
And this is what...
Blair would say exit.
And this is what Nestlé UK want to get across. In our confectionery archive, we have examples and records of thousands of Easter products from down the decades. Most of them don't refer to Easter explicitly on the packaging. Chocolate eggs have been synonymous with Easter and the Easter story since the beginning of the last century, so the association is an automatic one. These products are clearly made and sold specifically for the Easter season. The wording on these products has changed very little over time. Good point you make that people don't go to church. I respect the fact you do. Do you know what I think's gone out of church? And that's fear. The F letter, the F word is fear. Because I think in some instances the reason that I enjoy, and my late father was not a practising Catholic, was a Catholic, the lady I'm with at the moment is Catholic, I love the sense of fear in a Roman Catholic service, in that that you have to do that, and that you, in a way that you might have been a sinner, and you have to be careful. And I think the way we went down a very dangerous and rather retrograde step when we had vicars playing guitars that's the word. Thank you. Happy, clappy vicars playing guitars. I like a bit of fear that if you don't behave yourself, God will have His judgment. You'll all go to hell, and that's it. And that's my Easter message. We're all going to hell.
You know about being the meaning of Easter at all? It's about redemption and rebirth.
That's a bit of fear.
No, that's love. That is not fear.
The point about being a Catholic, though, in the lead up to Easter, in my family,
you're Catholic, are you?
I'm sure in yours, it was 6 weeks to torture. It was Lent. You had to do without. And you had to go to church, and you had to do the Stations of the Cross.
And then you've got your chocky egg.
But you know what? You only ever got one off your mum and dad, and maybe one off your nan, and that was the end of it. There was no big celebration other than kneeling in church. Stations of the Cross.
We used to dream of having eggs.
Cadbury's do say they're very big on Easter, and they fit it into all of their products during this season. But what I will say is that what swung me against your debate is when I saw the Easter tree, because actually I thought it was like a Christmas tree, but they've actually designed a tree that very much looks like Easter.
Oh, that's lovely.
Because of the eggs. Now, it's difficult to criticise that, because even though it's a tree, we associate trees with Christmas. That does look like an Easter tree.
It's not a recycled Christmas tree.
But this also puts a lot of pressure on families, I think, as well. Christmas is really expensive for a lot of families. You're just getting over that.
You're just
and wham, it's Easter again. But it's not just the eggs, it's all of this nonsense that goes with it as well. So I think it's a massive pressure on families. People try to get the perfect Christmas, now they're trying to get the perfect Easter. And it won't happen.
Well, and then, of course, we had the millennials jumping on board. We have the Easter avocado egg.
Oh,
have we seen that? I think we've got
I did think that was...
What's this?
This is...
Okay, I'm going to test for the panel. I know that
chocolate.
this is shown over the Easter weekend as well, but what is today? What is the official name of today?
Oh, it's
Maundy Thursday. What's tomorrow?
Easter, Good Friday.
Good Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on board the Easter bus.
That test went well. You got any more?
But it's interesting. One poll said 43% of young people didn't believe in the resurrection, which is very sad.
And what happened on Maundy Thursday?
He was starting to walk. Yes. And then
what happened on Good Friday?
He walked up the hill with the cross.
Yeah.
And what does the cross mean? All of this stuff is being lost. It's all just about the Christmas.
I don't know.
No, but people know that story.
Of course.
I wonder whether we're of a different generation.
But the crucifixion is a sign of belief in Christianity
It's not being
and
lost because we're making chocolate.
resurrection.
Exactly.
It's being lost because of Carol's point.
Yes.
Because of the failure of the church.
Yeah, it's not because companies whose responsibility it isn't to teach
churches.
Easter.
The Catholic Church has grown because of the number of Eastern Europeans. You go to parts of London.
Immigration. But that's
a good
because of
thing.
immigration. That's not because of the indigenous community. So what you're saying is right. That's not because of native British.
So we can link it to Brexit.
Maggie, can I ask you, because what I was saying is society is becoming more and more secular, or not Christian. As a Muslim, what does Easter mean to you, and how do you celebrate it?
So
if
one
at
of the
all,
core
with your
tenets.
family?
So Muslims believe in Jesus as a prophet.
I know,
one of the core tenets of Islam that it differs with over Christianity is that they believe that Jesus wasn't crucified, that God basically saved his prophet, and apart from therefore the Easter story is kind of. It's not really in sync.
Yes.
But the return of the Messiah,
you believe
we
that.
go back to that, right?
Okay.
So the bit that's missing is the Easter bit, which is why perhaps I'm slightly indulgent with the chocolate, because it's like, for me, it is, it's always been a secular holiday.